On September 26, 1983, a Soviet early warning system signaled an incoming American nuclear strike, bringing the world to the brink of total annihilation. This is the story of how diplomacy, not just technology, prevented the final catastrophe of the Cold War era. Born from the ashes of World War II, the nuclear age began in earnest on August 29, 1949, when the Soviet Union successfully tested their first atomic device, codenamed First Lightning, effectively ending the American nuclear monopoly forever. As a young physicist and later a military officer, the path to nuclear deterrence was paved with intense academic training and rigorous state-sponsored research into fission, driven by the existential fear of falling behind in the global arms race. The motivation to serve was often fueled by a genuine belief in national security, as scientists and strategists worked to build arsenals they hoped would never be used, creating a paradox of peace through the threat of destruction. The world was rapidly polarizing into two hostile camps, with the United States and the Soviet Union locked in a security dilemma where every defensive measure taken by one side was perceived as an offensive provocation by the other. The rise of the nuclear age saw military leaders and scientists ascending to positions of immense influence, tasked with managing arsenals that grew from mere dozens into thousands of thermonuclear warheads within just 2 decades. The primary obstacle was the terrifying lack of communication between Washington and Moscow, a systemic failure that turned minor geopolitical misunderstandings into potential triggers for a global nuclear exchange. A map of this era reveals a nuclear ring, with American Jupiter missiles stationed in Turkey, Italy, and the United Kingdom, directly countered by Soviet R-12 ballistic missiles secretly deployed across the island of Cuba. Tensions reached a boiling point in October 1962 during the Cuban Missile Crisis, a 13-day standoff that remains the closest humanity has ever come to a nuclear war, involving naval blockades and high-stakes brinkmanship. The decisive moment occurred through a secret back-channel deal, where Robert Kennedy and Soviet Ambassador Anatoly Dobrynin negotiated the removal of U.S. missiles from Turkey in exchange for the withdrawal of Soviet weapons from Cuba. Courage manifested in the actions of individuals like Vasily Arkhipov, despite being depth-charged by the U.S. Navy, refused to authorize a nuclear torpedo launch from his submarine, single-handedly preventing a catastrophic naval escalation. The cost of this era was measured in trillions of dollars spent on weapon systems and the psychological toll on millions living under the constant, looming shadow of a potential doomsday scenario. The immediate aftermath of the crisis forced both superpowers to acknowledge the fragility of their relationship, leading to the establishment of the Moscow-Washington hotline on June 20, 1963, to ensure direct, unambiguous communication. Recognition of the need for stability followed, as the international community moved toward formal agreements, beginning with the 1968 Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons to curb the spread of atomic technology globally. This diplomatic shift fundamentally changed the course of history, moving the superpowers from a doctrine of massive retaliation toward the more stable, albeit terrifying, framework of mutually assured destruction, or MAD. Today, these figures are remembered as the architects of a fragile peace, having navigated the most dangerous period in human history by choosing dialogue over the total annihilation of their respective nations and the entire planet. A fascinating, lesser-known fact is that the original, red telephone, was never actually a telephone, it was a pair of teletype machines designed to ensure that every message was recorded in writing to prevent dangerous misinterpretations. The 1983 false alarm incident, handled with calm by Stanislav Petrov at the Serpukhov 15 Center, serves as a stark reminder that our survival often relied on the judgment of a single person rather than complex automated systems. The 1986 Reykjavik Summit between Ronald Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev remains a pivotal historical moment, as it shifted the global paradigm from mere containment of nuclear weapons toward the radical, unprecedented idea of total disarmament. The signing of the INF Treaty on December 8, 1987, stands as a testament to the power of high-level diplomacy, successfully eliminating an entire class of nuclear-armed ground-launched ballistic and cruise missiles from Europe. Understanding this history is vital today, as the erosion of Cold War-era guardrails and the suspension of modern treaties like New START remind us that the threat of nuclear catastrophe is a persistent, evolving challenge for every generation. The legacy of these diplomatic efforts proves that even in the darkest hours of ideological conflict, human reason and the commitment to open communication remain our most effective tools for ensuring the survival of future generations.